Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? People are abuzz here, man. The Saints are 2-1, and they've done it sort of in an unconventional way based on how Sean Payton's won for 15 years. My question for you is, when you watch the Saints team, knowing the cavalry is on the way with Mike Thomas and David Onyemata and so many more guys coming back, what is a realistic gauge on this team right now with how they're winning? How sustainable is it?
Not very, but defense will keep you in every game. Offensively, it's almost shocking to watch, isn't it, Matt? Maybe it isn't for you, but I think I was discussing this on my show or on another show this morning, thinking, the New Orleans is winning a different way. Maybe it was last night I was talking to a buddy. The way that they're normally for years. Now, their defense has gotten better over the years, but it's always offense, throw close to 4,500, 5,000 yards, high percentage, stretch the field, do all kinds of different stuff, and hope that the defense is somewhere in the middle of the league and or creeping towards the top. And then over the last couple of years, we start to see the transformation. I don't know if you can sustain it in this league, throwing it 21, 20, 19, 22 times a game. I almost feel like they're treading lightly because they're afraid of what might happen if it creeps into the 30s. Now, listen, if this was 2085 and you're running it, throwing it like that and protecting the ball, I got no problem. It's been a tale of two teams for three different games when it comes to the offense. Good, bad, good, ugly, and good again. But it's almost as if Sean's saying, okay, let's keep it close to the vest. Our defense will get some turnovers. They're not going to give up many big plays, and we're going to be fine. So defense is really sustainable, but I think you're going to need to see more. You're going to need to see more vertical stretch, which he can do. But in the process of that, you get that light flicker, and that light's got to go on, meaning Jameis saying, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have some chances I got to take. I still got to be judicious with the football and make sure that if that's not open, I'm judicious enough to throw the check down or the crosser that Sean Payton's lived by. So it's odd that the first thing that comes out of our mouth is conservative offensively and great defense when you're talking Saints, but it shifts, and Sean Payton's done a great job. It's probably itching a little bit to want to stretch it out, but I think a lot of it is that he doesn't quite trust his offense to carry them right now. So defense sustainable. I'm impressed. And they're really good, but the offense, they're going to get to a point in time when people are going to score, or somebody's going to score, whether it's Brady's team or we know it's Sam Darnold's team. I mean, they're bringing it defensively as well, and they're going to rely on it. The question is, will they protect the ball when the throws start to creep towards 30 and 35 and you're chasing down a team and you got to do it throwing the ball, and defense is giving up 28, 30 points. And that game will present itself more than once this year. It's just the NFL.
Sean, I'm going to ask sort of a sequential question here. So the Saints are 2-1. They've got New York and Washington, the Giants and Washington in their next 2 weeks. I think it's plausible they can win both of those games. They should beat the Giants in New Orleans this week. Washington's a little bit of a different challenge. How about we say they're 3-2 going into their opening day? Okay, let's say they're 3.
Okay.
We can agree with that. Maybe win New York, lose Washington.
Yeah, they should win both. If Heineke doesn't have one of those crazy games, or you don't take some sacks, and that front seven's really good with Washington. Both, but I'll take 3-2. Let's go there. Let's off that preface.
3-2. You're going into your bye. Coming off the bye, you're going to get Michael Thomas back. You'll have Tre'Quan Smith back. You'll have Will Lutz back. You're going to have your healthy offensive line back. A week later, you're going to get David Onyemata in the middle. You're going to get the cavalry's on the way. So let me just start with Michael Thomas and say, okay, from a quarterback's perspective or a play caller, an offensive designer's perspective, how much does Michael Thomas change this Saints team?
Oh, I think a great deal. I almost think that if you would have said, Sean, you're going to have to wait 5 weeks, but when the guys come back, we're building to a crescendo. Let's get to this point, and the advantage for them is that when they get to that point, now Sean gets to open up a few more pages in his playbook and his mad scientist approach, and he's such a great play caller that the teams haven't been able to scout them, because now they'll have to go back in the past, but Jameis is different than Drew, and now you're going to be 6-7 weeks into the season. 5 games, 7 weeks or whatever. And you're going to be, they're going to have to say, well, we haven't seen this early because we don't have enough tape on this year on this type of ability to stretch. Now, you'll know the plays because Sean's still got what he does. But when you get the cavalry back, now you become a big full field. You can stretch the field. Now a defense has to understand, Thomas is back on the field. This is a 100-catch-plus guy. So you roll your coverage to him. Now you've got some more ability here. And then another receiver comes in, and Kamara's doing both, catching it and running it. And we got our packages with Taysom Hill. There is no question. I would not expect when we hit week 7 and 8 and 9 and they're fully healthy, as long as and the line's back, that you will see 19, 20, 21 passes. Now, Sean may like the fact that if we could protect the ball and our defense is playing this well, but Sean is who he is. And who he is friggin' awesome. And I know that he'd probably like to add about 8 to 10 more throws just to make sure that he gets to stretch a field both vertically and horizontally, which I talk about. But listen, if you'd have told us all that they'd be averaging about 20 throws a game with Jameis there and wondering what was going to happen and how defensively was going to go going into the season, I would have said, no way. They got this vertical push in their game now with the quarterback. Let's see it, as long as he's smart with the football. But I think it's an advantage for them. As they get their guys back and healthy, now defenses don't have 6 weeks of tape to study on all their personnel, and Sean can leg it out, stretch it out a little bit more, which I fully expect them to do, which would increase 6 to 8 to 10 passes a game. And also you can a little more with formations and motions and personnel groupings that Sean loves to do. So an advantage for them. And if they come out of this with 4 wins and a loss and they head into that, and they're coming, you're adding 4 or 5 minimum players that you say, okay, we now get to extend it and get to another level, which they have not reached yet offensively this year. They've seen flashes of it, but there's still 3 or 4 more layers to this offense when Sean Payton has his weapons.
Sean Salisbury is with us on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. I want to ask you about the NFC South. I think we can all agree that Atlanta is just not a very good football team.
They're horrible.
Okay.
They're putrid.
Let's not. I love it. Let's not talk about them.
Yeah.
By the way, people here love to hear that Atlanta's putrid, so that we can revel in that for a moment.
Okay.
Carolina and then Tampa, which took it on the chin this week out in L.A. If you're making sense of the pecking order of this division right now, small sample, what do you see?
Tampa's clearly the best team. They still are. They ran into what may be the best team in the NFL right now because it's not Kansas City. Buffalo's starting to come alive. We see what Aaron Rodgers is now starting to do. Is we had him left for dead, and he's pretty good. And we know what the Chargers and the Raiders are doing now. Are the Raiders real at 3-0 or not? And Herbert's a grown man. So all around the league, there's some good plays. But in the South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I would fully expect them to be in position when this whole thing's over, to be in a position to be playing in late January, and whoever that's against. But I would not turn my back on them. They're really, really good, and they're going to get better as the season rolls along. That's just them, and that's just number 12. So the other 2 teams, with Atlanta gone, it comes down now with the Saints and Carolina. And the similarities, I mean, the defenses are both playing well. It's a vicious pass rush for Carolina, and it's not fake. They can get after the quarterback. And we know that the Saints can run around, and they're playing really good defense. So then it comes down to, all right, Kamara, and there's some mirror image things. Chance takers at quarterback in their past, running backs that can line up in the slot, can run the screen game. I can get him out and run the slant route from the outside. Mismatch problems with McCaffrey when he's healthy and gets back on the field, and Kamara. And then you start to look, then it comes to the personnel on the perimeter and getting everybody healthy. Now comes the guy with the ball in his hand. Both great play callers, and the one guy learned from the other guy, and Joe Brady and Sean Payton. The similarities are unreal. It will simply come down to because both defenses, as long as they're healthy, will not go away. And when you're that relentless, and these guys, and both well-coached with Rule and Sean Payton, now it gets down to, is Sam Darnold, is this him? Is this him? And I think it is. And I never turned my back. I die on that hill about him when he got a good coach that he was going to turn it around. He's got great arm ability, but he also is making great decisions, and he can fit it in tight windows. Now, the question is when, and we've seen it, where's that level for Jameis going? Because Carolina is not afraid to throw it. And now with the McCaffrey, so they're going to have to rip it around a lot a little bit. So the similarities are really, really good. It'll come down to that position, health, obviously, for the team, but which one of those quarterbacks Is it live or is it Memorex? Is Jameis this guy where we're going to protect it but not throw it down the field, or he's going to get back into his mode of who he's been in the past of taking chances because he's getting comfortable? Or and Sam Darnold is, now that he's coached, can he still take chances, but is he being smarter with the ball and understanding how to get through his progressions better and realizing he's on a better team and that he doesn't have to carry it because he's got a defense? I think there's some eerie similarities and some really good ones. As always, it's going to come down to the second-best team in the division will be which one of those cats throws the ball to the other team or plays well under pressure. Both of them, tremendous arm ability. So we'll find out who protects the ball more when they're in a close, tight game in the fourth quarter and the quarterback has to win it. Not that he's got other guys to do it. When that quarterback has to win it, which guy rears his head? Old school Jameis or new school Jameis? Old school Darnold or the new Darnold? And which one's better? Because both of them have an elite ability. Now the decision-making will come into play because they're well coached by both the guys that are coaching them.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.